You've been focusing on a first ever EU-Armenia summit that's been taking place in Yerevan a month before a general election where the incumbent pro-Western camp is favored.
That's right, and European Union leaders say the summit elevated their partnership to a new level, laying the groundwork for closer ties with Armenia, which last year passed a law formally declaring its intention to seek EU membership. Building on their first deal signed back in 2017 to deepen economic ties, the two sides signed a new connectivity partnership focused on transport, energy and digital links. The EU says investments from the bloc into Armenia could reach €2.5 billion under its Global Gateway programme and launched a call to encourage more private investments, signing several non-binding letters of intent. Armenia also pledged to more closely work with Europe's Frontex border agency to advance work towards visa-free travel. The head of the European Commission hailed a new leap forward in bilateral ties. Let's take a lesson.
Armenia can become a regional hub for new global trade routes, particularly in the crucial area of critical raw materials. And Europe is ready to support you. We're ready to help build the physical infrastructure you need to transport the goods. We're ready to invest in the local energy production and the energy links across the Black Sea. And we are ready to connect your booming digital scene to Europe's digital market.
Armenia trying to look west, but it's a nation of 3 million that still depends to a large degree on Russia.
For its economy, while Armenia froze its participation in the Russian-led Collective Security Treaty Organization in 2024 after its ties with Moscow soured the previous year when Russian troops didn't intervene during Azerbaijan's military takeover of Nagorno-Karabakh. But it remains a member of the Eurasian Economic Union, or EEU, a single market allowing the free movement of goods, capital and labor, and is heavily reliant on Russian energy. Earlier this year, Vladimir Putin warned that Armenia couldn't be both a member of the EU and the EEU, pointing to the fact that the country was buying Russian gas at a significant discount, paying just $177 per 1,000 cubic meters compared to $600 the EU was paying. Armenia has enjoyed stellar growth since it started recovering from a COVID downturn. Last year, it was among the world's top 20 countries by growth, and Russian investment has been a key driver. Armenia's economy minister, Gevorg Pavyan, though, was keen to highlight in a recent social media post how the country's exports grew towards the European Union, the US and China. Export figures to the EU for the first quarter of this year, he said, rose by some 90%.
All right, so faltering ties between Moscow and Yerevan, strengthening ties with Pyongyang, which is calling for more foreign investment?
Well, North Korea has allowed foreign business delegations to attend its spring trade fair in Pyongyang for the first time in years. The event has been showcasing domestically produced goods from health and food products to medicines to smartphones, with a handful of foreign companies also displaying their wares. Luke Traeger takes a look.
North Korea, it seems, is opening up, at least in a limited way, with foreign delegates attending a Pyongyang trade fair for the first time in years. One of them took to social media.
The 24th International Spring Trade Fair marked the first time a Western delegation returned since the pandemic. Pyongyang is rapidly moving toward a cashless society, with QR code payments becoming the norm.
Long isolated under sanctions for its nuclear program, North Korea has an aging manufacturing base that analysts doubt can produce much in the way of high-quality consumer technology. However, the country is thought to be receiving economic and technical assistance from Moscow, boosting its flagging economy in return for military support of Russia and its invasion of Ukraine. The trade fair has now seen the latest Jindele, meaning Azalea, smartphone models unveiled, which first appeared in 2017.
We've updated the smartphone apps to better match users' needs and make them more convenient. And we've also significantly improved the overall performances of the devices.
While most of North Korea's 25 million people have no internet access, the International Telecommunications Union indicated the country had over 6 million mobile phone subscriptions at the end of 2022, overwhelmingly connected to a tightly controlled national intranet. That control extends into all walks of North Korean life. While a few firms from China, Russia, Mongolia, Switzerland and Thailand were represented at the fair as they have been in previous years, Pyongyang still seems keen to keep out most visitors with no connections to business or foreign governments.
And Yuka, German pharmaceutical company BioNTech is talking about big layoffs.
Yeah, BioNTech made its name during a COVID-19 pandemic as it was among the first to develop a coronavirus vaccine. Now, though, the German company is pivoting away from vaccine manufacturing and it's planning to transfer production of its COVID jabs to its partner Pfizer this year. On Tuesday, the company reported that it fell further into the red in the first quarter of this year and said it would close 3 sites in Germany as well as 1 in Singapore, a move that would affect 1,816 jobs, about 22% of its global workforce. In March, BioNTech's 2 co-founders, a married couple behind the vaccine's success, said they would leave the firm by the end of this year to start a new venture.